Good morning.
Good morning.
You get both of us today. I missed you last Saturday. We were doing our Good Vibes retreat, which was really great. I wish every single one of you could come and hang out with us.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was really great. We have Alicia's yarn that she brought for the retreat now available on our pop-up Palooza collection. So make sure you go visit that. But I'm going on vacation tomorrow.
You are?
I am. Yes. She does this every time.
And I think it's funny. I crack myself
But
up.
I know she's got it. So no challenge there.
Come and see me next week.
Yeah. And so when we knew that these are our favorite ones to do and your favorite ones to watch when we do it together. So we asked Madeline, what should we talk about? And she came up with project planning. She's like, I'm just really curious.
Because you were
I'm starting a lot of new projects.
Frantically planning for her trip.
I finished this one. Woohoo!
And the split seam.
Goat bell. So I'd be wearing it today, but instead we wore something matching, which is our Westbourne.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Isabel Kramer.
And so, yes, I'm frantically, I'm sure all of you, when you get ready to go somewhere, the packing of the knitting is the most important part. I have a pile of all my somewhat clothes that I'm taking, but really I'm right now obsessive.
Everything that you
so
get.
That other yarn that you were asking about over there.
That's part of the planning.
Part of the planning.
Okay. Can't wait.
So I'll start off. So Melissa and I, once we got our rough theme, made a basket of our things. We don't know what's in each one. I've put a collection up with my 10 in there now. Melissa doesn't know those, and I don't know hers. That's why her 10 aren't in the collection, but they will be by the time
10-ish.
Most of you, yes,
10-ish.
Yeah, and I'm probably you're gonna have to rein me in because my head's in a million different directions. But the first thing I have on my list is really my Billy bag, because I love that. My project will fit it. I've got all my other pieces I'm going to pull out as we're going. It continues to shock me, even though we designed it, how much
can go in there,
and yet how it can also cinch in there too.
That's a good
cinch. Hey, Tiffany, I will try the poncho on in another broadcast because right now I've got a sweater and a thing, and we have to focus on this. But I'd be happy to do that for you soon. So my Billy bag is number one.
And you got a little pin on there.
I do have a pin a lot so that you and I can tell ours apart.
That's true. That's true. Okay, so I have the O snap bag. Not only we have it in this size, but I also grabbed the Fuzzy Goto snap bag. I love it because you can put your yarn, you can feed it through the snaps, and if you have 2 balls in there, that's even better. But I like it also because it has a zipper and a gusset, right?
Yes.
Stand up. Yeah. A little zipper so you can see what notions you may have in there if you need to get them. It's just, I love them. This size comes with two different ones in here. So there you go. Oh, snap.
Oh, snap. So my number 2 is the yarn that I'm working with now. So I have been interviewing this project, it seems like for months. Gone back and forth about all of my colors. I'm doing Joji Locatelli's Virginia. I love a vest. And I've tried different yarns all this week. Then I started frantically swatching to make sure. So my yarn that I'm using is the Uncommon Thread. It's new for us. The Uncommon Thread Posh Fingering. It came in lots of colors. I had a really hard time. The orange almost went home with me instead. But as you can see, I just finished with some orange. So it had to be green. I had blue in the queue, and Melissa's like, what are you doing with that blue? It didn't look like
Love blue. Yes. Nothing wrong with blue. But
so it's Uncommon Thread, and it's blue-faced Leicester, silk, and cashmere, and it feels amazing. So
you got your gauge swatching?
I'm going to talk about that.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, so number 2 for me in project planning is all about the color. Really, a lot of it goes back and forth between pattern and color.
Yeah. No.
In this case, it was the pattern. Which is it for you? Which starts your project?
Yeah. Most of the times, I have to say it is pattern. Yeah. I have to say that. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, it's kind of both. Sometimes it's like I got to make something out of that color.
Yes. I got to find a pattern.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now mine aren't in any particular order.
Mine aren't
Okay.
either.
You were just saying
we're a bit of a ramble today.
So mine,
Ooh,
I grabbed
Alicia's.
This is her brush merino lace, and of course, I just love this red. I might have to figure out what to do.
Well, there you go. So color, and you're looking for the project.
And I have actually, and this is the Jolly. This is in her Mega MCN. This is 80% merino, 10% cashmere, and a little bit of nylon. I already have
You're gonna
one.
hold them together.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Okay,
this would be a great ranunculus.
I'm gonna go closer with it. So
okay, yes.
My arms are a little bit
and that's my red. That's my color red. We talk about that a lot.
Like mine's an orangey red, and yours a bluey red.
Yep. And so I am doing a new class in ranunculus and I do think somebody came in and bought just this. She's going to make a lace ranunculus, which is beautiful too. But held together, be lovely.
Oh, and what's really nice about this merino, it's merino,
right?
It's like it's a mohair. It's a substitute for mohair or alpaca.
If you have issues with it, it's all merino, and it doesn't like fuzzy. And the yardage. That's the other beautiful thing. 656. This is 600. So you could, there's Mr. Fuzzy Go.
Yeah.
You could potentially just get one of each and hold them together depending on your size and all that other kind of stuff. But there you go. Knit wise.
All right. Stuff. So yes, swatching was part of my project planning. So this is I took the needle out. I did. Okay, this is only as big as my swatch. This is as big as I did.
I say that's okay. Sometimes that's just okay.
And then I took the needle out because I needed it to hold the stitches last night when I was doing something. So project planning for me is all about, in the beginning, is swatching, especially if I'm going to travel, because I want to make sure that I've got my right needles and all of that.
And all the widths that you need.
But so swatching, and the tool for that would be my interchangeable needles.
Just take all that with you.
Because that way I can take this and then I can have it. But I still want to really get started before I get on the
road,
plane. Or the road to the plane.
Or the road, right. Trains, planes, and
automobiles. But swatching was a big part of my, and actually I swatched another yarn and it wasn't working. So sometimes that's not what the yarn wants to be.
For that project.
Yeah. It took me a long time. And I don't know whether it's because my mind was elsewhere and that's why I couldn't really focus.
And what's also interesting with this pattern is she's used a speckly yarn for that.
Yeah.
And people shy. Well, and people shy away from that because they're afraid you can't see the pattern, but you actually can.
Yeah.
And so it depends on what your goal is. And you really wanted your pattern to pop.
Right. And I have certain things I want to wear this over that are going to be patterns.
Yeah.
Because I do love a pattern.
Okay, so since we're talking about gauge swatch, I love this tool. I really do. Cause I think because it lines, when you're checking your gauge, it lines it up real neatly here. Oh, you have, I thought maybe you would. And it's see-through, so you can really see. You can also just quickly check your needle size. But this is one of my favorite little, can you all see it? I guess you can. I just realized it's like see-through.
Yeah, that's how I could honestly get away with such a small gauge swatch. Is it still fit in there? Though Patty Lyons, and she's right, I've heard her say it herself, that you should really measure in several places.
Yes, you should.
But I knew I would, my gauge is going to change once I get started. So that's why I'm going to take my interchangeable needles.
And this project, right, it starts in the round, or starts flat.
Starts flat.
And then goes in the round. And my gauge changes when I go from flat to the round. So that's something else you have to think about.
Okay, so I can't talk about that because you just talked about that. No, that's okay. So while I was doing my gauge swatch and I had to go a certain number of inches, I used my work until. So it is not in there right now because I took it out of my gauge swatch. And I've now gone to counting the rows. I'm not working until, but once I get going in the body again, this will be hanging on my needle. And it is super fun. It's one of those things that I didn't know. Oh, I'll get that. I think I get it. I don't really know how that works. Yeah. And then I start using it and I'm like, oh my gosh.
It saves time.
Well, yes. And it saves you laughing at me, wondering why I'm pulling out my tape measure
Look, you just checked it.
2 minutes.
Anything else today you want to talk
about? No, it'll be your turn while I dig
my
for
turn.
the other thing.
But you might be the same thing that I'm getting ready to show right now. So
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. So
But I do have those in there.
love these bombs. Now, what it has to do with traveling,
It's
I'm not sure,
planning a
but
project because
it's
you
planning
pair
a
them
project.
together.
Exactly. So, I love mine. I have it sitting. I use the tin. I haven't used the roll
Yeah,
up
that's
yet.
kind of like.
Because I can just leave the tin open and I can just go swoop.
And
but
see, I like the one that opens and then I can just dial it up.
I want to smell it.
Yeah.
And wow, which one is that? The garland.
Yeah, this is frosted garland.
Okay, that's.
It smells like Christmas,
but not too much.
Without being.
So
too
we
much.
have eucalyptus lemon right now, the plum and amber in the tin.
Yeah, we're working on getting more.
Yeah, we are working on getting more. And then we have the frosted garland, vetiver and cedarwood in the stick, and then the ho grapefruit or
Howood
grapefruit.
And thank you, Deanna, for telling us about these.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And then your project just smells yummy and don't have to worry about.
So I have this in here for project planning because I really do like to match many things to my project.
She really does.
And speaking of which, because I am going on vacation, which is a very rare thing. Last year I went for the first time in, 20 years. I worked on this last year on vacation. So I realized that put more pressure on what projects I was planning to take with me because I like to imbue so every time I look at this, I think of my vacation.
Oh, right.
And I really only worked on this.
Mm-hmm.
So I like.
You can relive your vacation every time
I put this on. So, everything is knit worthy. I wouldn't be doing it, but some things
you just want to
I love more than others.
Yeah. I got
it. So, forgot what item that might relate to, but
everything matching.
Everything matching.
Oh, and then you have the garland.
Okay. So I've got the garland in there. Let me see what else I want to talk about that's in here. I think, let's see. I have my other project that I'm bringing is in my snap bag.
Yep.
And so, project planning to me also involves what bag
because it has to match.
It at least needs to coordinate. Becky, we're wearing Isabel Kramer's Westbourne, and it's Bourne. We'll link to all that. And this is a worsted pattern. So I've actually gotten started. I think I might have shown it to you all before. There was a better picture of it here. We need some more worsted samples. There's not a very good picture of it here. I've actually made this years before and I lost it. It's the only thing I've ever lost. And it's a great shawl pattern.
What's it called?
That's a good question. Lonely Tree.
Where do you see that?
You'd probably have to go.
Oh, okay. You just remembered. Okay.
But it's a nice worsted pattern and I got started.
It's pretty.
I'm going to really like wearing that. So again, the color,
oh my gosh.
What's in my closet? What am I going to wear it with?
And that's Sweet Georgia?
This is Sweet Georgia worsted.
Yeah.
Which is, here's some other colors I brought over. So.
I love her worsted. Yeah. I love her colors.
Yeah. It just glows. Mm-hmm. I just think that's beautiful. So that's another part of my project planning is picking the pattern, the yarn. I wanted one that wasn't, although this pattern can hold up to a really nice speckle. We have some speckle samples over there, maybe.
Samples?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I wanted to show what this would be like. And I really was going back and forth between, in this case, I was considering the blue. But I settled on this green.
I'm just chuckling because
yes,
it actually matches. And look at your bag.
Matches too. Yep. So this goes on the ends of my needles, which
especially
I use
for traveling.
Especially for travel. They kind of hide them. They corral them. I don't have two stoppers to keep up with.
Yeah, that's nice too. Yeah.
Okay, I'll stop unless you.
Okay. So I chose because so this situation, when this came in, I just knew I had to make something with it. This is the Uncommon Thread Cocoon. It's 70% silk and 30% extra fine merino. I think, what was it say? 220 yards in a skein. We have it as a fingering or she does, I should say
Yeah.
we do, but like I'm actually using it as a DK. So when this yarn came in, I wanted to find a pattern for it. So the pattern I'm doing
You're
is,
using it as a DK, not even a sport. You just jumped.
Well, I gauge swatched first.
Okay.
I made sure.
Gauge swatched.
Yeah. So I made sure that it was going to work, and that I like the fabric still. What is that saying? Notification.
Let's see.
Oh,
Yeah,
start. Okay.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Anyway, so I love this yarn. I also think, I feel like I'm tooting ranunculus's horn, but I think this would be a great ranunculus. Similar to you holding two together, I think this would be a good
Well,
one.
there's a reason there's so many ranunculuses.
I know. So anyway, and this color, but I just grabbed one color. The color I'm using, I think, is peony. Am I saying the right? Peony? Peony. I knew I wasn't. Peony. So there we go.
So another part of my project planning is making sure I have the right markers. And Melissa has designed quite a few markers. So this is our back marker for sweaters. We used to have right side, wrong side. We still have those. But when I got started on this, I was going to need to know which is the front and which is the back.
Probably in the beginning it looked the same, right?
Yes, it looks, yeah. I can start to tell now. But I want to make sure I have, so you've designed the one for sweaters that is front, back, and right sleeve, left sleeve. So because I'm going to be working on that vest, I don't need so much right sleeve, left sleeve, but I do need, you start with the back, right and left back, and I want to know that. So gathering up not just my
markers.
And speaking of matching, is so I have my markers, my regular markers for the lace pattern, but then I also have my markers in here for my front, back, right, left.
And your markers I'll coordinate.
And yesterday I had to get some yarn for provisional cast on, because that's what this does, which is going to be really nice. And so I was saying to Melissa, and she got a chuckle out of that, do you pick your yarn for your provisional cast on to coordinate with your project? It can't be the same color because you need to see it, but I can't stand it if I'm attached to a color that is
for a long time
that is discordant.
Yeah. So I have a question.
I have matched my markers to my provisional cast on.
Oh, I got you. So you did. Okay, I see. Yeah. You got two, and then you added it.
So last night I did the back. I did both backs and joined.
Yes. Okay.
So I am now joined
quickly.
Yes.
That's nice.
Yeah. So now, and that'll be nice, the provisional cast on, because
it really is nice.
Then it's just kind of a seamless, especially when it has a pattern in it. It's just going to go over the shoulder, and you won't.
I, on the other hand, just grab what is closest to me for my provisional. I'm like, oh, I can just grab it out of that project.
Yeah, I've done that, and then I'm sorry that I have to look at that. I mean, I like that yarn because I had used it. Well, probably all your colors go together.
They sort of, they do.
I was actually looking in the shops.
Yes, which is not necessarily.
Which isn't necessarily all my colors.
Okay, so then I chose.
I don't even know what number I'm on.
This.
That's okay.
It's okay. Yeah, I chose this. This is the Woolly Wreath Ornament Kit for project planning. I was thinking more about holiday project planning.
Yeah.
Like this would be a great gift to somebody that maybe it's finger knitting, that maybe wants to learn finger, or maybe it's for a child. Like I do think they could do this.
Yeah.
But I got these because I want to make these and give them as gifts.
Right.
The little wreaths.
I think that fits in project planning because you bought those for the store because you thought of how you wanted to use them and thought other people might like that also.
Yeah. So, and you can make, depending on your gauge, 5 to 6 of them in here.
So I can't wait to see you make one.
Yes. So
I've been all out of order, so I think I only have one thing left.
Oh my goodness.
So you go again.
Okay.
I feel like it's like Christmas when you open presents and you start to realize that somebody has more than others.
Did you talk about this yet?
No, but it's in my bag.
This is definitely part of my. This comes with me. For project planning and traveling. I use a lot of this.
Yeah,
and it lasts forever. But this is in case you guys, what do we call
highlighter tape?
Echo, highlighter tape.
Yeah, in fact, I could show you that in action because
it's on your pattern.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't dream of it. So like going through my, so here it is on my chart on there.
And then I use it on, I just use it all through the pattern. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know exactly where I'm going back to, especially those patterns that bounce back and forth,
So before I get to that other item, just in terms of project planning, I realized I have the lace. Both of mine are lace.
Yes.
So what do I do when
Right.
I don't have like just mindless.
Right. You want to take one of mine?
We have different gauge. I don't think I could match it. Well, maybe with the smallest needle I could. So I have over there piled up over there. Hey, LaDonna, you can just walk through.
Yeah. Can you get through?
I have LaDonna's teaching a class for us right now. I thought, well, maybe a hat. A hat would be in the round.
Oh yeah.
And I bought some yarn last year to make a hat.
Oh, you're gonna do a hat
up there at a yarn shop in Maine. So I think maybe I'll do a hat. I had to find the pattern today.
Okay. Okay.
But also that lattice or braid sweater that I made, but yet I still want a bigger one.
Yes.
Maybe that. So I have a lot to decide in a few hours while we're running the store. So that's another thing that I do take into account when I'm planning my projects is making sure I have something that engages my mind and also having another one that is mindless.
Yeah, I agree.
But then I kind of have to have, I get very monogamous towards the end.
Yes.
Like this one. Well, any of them. Otherwise, I won't finish it. Like this one, I have to take this.
Well, you just got to cross the finish line. Yeah.
And get it done. Yeah.
Yeah.
I may take this with me, so I may not be able to show it to you again until I get back. Okay. So
that's probably a good one.
You go again, and then I got.
Okay. So this, I do have a few more. Okay.
Ooh.
So I did grab the little folding.
Does that have to match?
Not for me. You might have to have it match. Not for me. So this is a little folding box and the what do we call this? Insert.
Mm-hmm.
So you could plop it in there, and you can kind of organize your stuff. Now there's not a bottom to the insert, but you could put like I'm thinking my glasses because you have a couple glasses.
Yeah. The awesome tool can stand up in there.
Your gauge, and the thing I really like about this bag is, the box is this little thing over here because you can stand up things too. Oh,
and
they don't slide.
Yeah.
They don't slide around. I usually put my gauge thing in there so I can get to it. A pen. Yeah. Anyway.
We sell a lot of those. Those are very popular.
And this is spring green, right?
Yes, that is spring green.
Kind of
sometimes
look yellow.
It looks a little yellowy.
I just want to mention that.
Okay, the last thing I have, because if I'm not going to take my interchangeable needles, because I do know now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it in our new haystack.
Oh, nice!
And I love that it's squishy again. So we put my needles all in the pockets there, and I can have I want to fold it with the label on the outside, and I can have just the ones I want, but they're not. And then I do check my bag.
Yes.
So all of these will go in my checked bag.
Yes.
But just my project ones with that tube on it is going to go in there.
Yeah.
But this is.
Does that have to coordinate?
Well.
But they do go together.
They do because they're the same, but I do not want them to be the same color.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's fair.
This I will only need one of these, so I'll choose the color that I love the most. Although I do love the original teal, the flannery. Speaking to me.
Okay, so I have a few, just a couple more. They're small though. You're gonna have to block your garment. So I put in here. This is the fuzzy goat.
Yes, that's the one that smells like our candle, our blanket candle.
Yes, fuzzy goat colorway. Yeah, I love these.
Bergamot, the other word we can't say right now.
Beep, bergamot.
So Facebook prefers us not to.
If y'all can read that backwards.
And we're very grateful that Facebook shows us to.
I have two more things. I'm gonna go real fast.
Yeah,
okay.
No, you
need your markers. I think you talked about markers.
Yes,
These are and I don't have to have my markers matching. I do like to coordinate them, like if it's the sleeves, I like those to match, kind of thing. But it doesn't have to match the project. But I do love these colors. These are the fuzzy goat colorway in the
That's
flower
probably
stitch
how you
markers.
get more knitting done, is because you're not spending all this time
Maybe.
matching.
Like, and seriously, like if I'm doing a provisional, I'll look at my projects or sitting around, I'm like, I'll just grab that yarn.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then I also, for when
I
you're
need to put
done,
that in this. Do you have that
yes.
trouble with this one? I can't tell which one's the front and the back. I mean, I have to
I
look
don't
at
know
it.
if
I have to
trouble
inspect
with
it.
Maybe maybe I'm wearing it backwards. I have no idea. But these are the little things
think
that
so.
you can put in the inside.
Yeah.
They're soft. They're washable. Because sometimes those labels
say?
can be scratchy.
They say this is the back.
This is the back, and I need to put one of those in. Yeah.
And I'm going to need
A couple. I do have a couple sweaters.
I want
need
to do
put
that in this one too, because the hem
is
is
longer.
in
Yes.
the back. But you know, you kind of have to figure it out. So I'm going to put one of those in this too.
And
I just have to stop and
it'll be
check.
nice because it's not. It'll be nice and soft. So I think that's all I have.
All right. If you have any questions for us about how to plan your project, we'd love doing that.
Yeah,
we answer
absolutely.
texts on that all day long. 229-236-GOAT is the number you can text us at. You can email us at hey fuzzy, HEY fuzzy at Fuzzy Goat Yarns. And we just love helping you guys out and planning. And oh, hey, Gigi, thanks for coming last week to the
Gigi,
retreat. That was
yeah.
really great. And we'll put the links up to all the things that we've been talking about here. And we're just here to serve you. Melissa's going to take care of next week, because in case you didn't know,
Yeah.
I
That's
won't
right.
be here. And so next Saturday, if I have my wits about me and I remember, I'll come on and show you again. We're going to Maine, which is the same place we went last year. We're so lazy, but it was really lovely. And so we're just
a great time of the year.
We're just
to
going
there.
again. It's just a few weeks later. And yeah. Thank you, Kathy, for saying we gave you some great ideas. That's what we love to do. All right. Thanks, Melissa.
All right. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. You'll have a great day.